Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, gonna take a look in this Soulforge, tell you what I think are the best troops and weapons to craft from there. Gonna show you a really cool world event team and a Underspire team at the same time too. Also gonna take a look at this weekly glory shop troop, the Midnight Innovator. Let's have a little sneaky peek at this. Creates either 6 Terra gems or 6 bomb gems and explodes 1 gem. So, depends upon obviously where that gem explodes, whether it takes out some of those bomb gems or terra gems. Can be good if it works in your favour, but 1 gem just doesn't sound enough, and it's more likely to possibly leave those terra gems and bomb gems behind for the opposition to possibly get instead. So, can actually kind of work more against you than for you. Doesn't sound particularly great. Does get bonus blue and it does use blue, but nothing fantastic there. Feels like everything gets a 4 out of 10 these days, but yeah, you Midnight Innovator, you get a mediocre-ish 4 out of 10. Was thinking 3 out of 10, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt of not testing it yet and say 4 out of 10. Anyway, what did the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Where's my tractor? Oh dear. As ever, get that useless Midnight Muppet to Mythic level if you've got the spare glory. Right, onto the Soulforge itself. Let's go Soulforging. Let's look at the weapons first and we'll take a look at the troops. As ever, I'm going to go over all the new weapons and stuff. I'm not going to go over all the stuff that is here on a weekly basis. No need to repeat it. That's all in my Soulforge extra video. And there'll be a link to that in the description below. So, yeah, we can ignore these ones here all the time. I say all the time. One of the stars, as I said, all the time, every single week. If you've got the resources, just get the one of the stars. Absolutely amazing weapon, best in the game. Will stitch you up sometimes, but for the most part will be absolutely amazing. Any new weapons in the Soulforge? Here? What? I'm near the bottom. And, oh, finally. Finally. I was just about to ring up customer services and of the Soulforge customer service and say, seem to have an issue in the Soulforge. Doesn't seem to be any weapons that are new in there at all. Like, you know. Anyway, we're near the bottom. We've got 1 so far. Crikey. Anyway, Doomed Signet. Give 2 magic to all allies with a +1 per temporary level boost. Then give magic +2 armor to red allies. If the enemy has a doom, gain 10 attack. Not typically a fan of this type of weapon. The armor boost is only to red allies, so to get the most out of that, you have to have a all red using team. And the magic boost is kind of rubbish if you don't have it boosted, and it can be significant and pretty decent if you've got this tempered all the way to the max. So it is on all allies, so with the right team that can be okay, but it's still not my favourite kind of weapon. I don't think I've ever used it unless it's been forced upon me. So Midnight's Terror. I suppose it is Midnight. It's a newish kingdom, so it's like not got a ton of weapons yet. But anyway, we have Midnight's Terror. Remove all brown gems with no effect, just taking away like they didn't exist. This is like the anti-Midnight weapon in a way. Then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Midnight, if the battle is in Midnight, deal double damage. So very specialist weapon. Don't actually use it very often, but they're always worth picking up because these ones are always cheap to craft. Just a mere 75 diamonds and a few extra other bits as well. But it gives you an extra weapon from that kingdom, and that's one of the things that can push on your progress in the game when you get it leveled up. Anyway, we have a Temporal Scythe. It's a scythe, but only temporarily. Deals damage to all enemies. Always handy, unless you're against a team that submerges all the time, then it's rubbish. If an enemy dies, convert all red gems to hourglass gems. So not bad. Damage to all. Someone dies. Change red to yellow with the effect of getting extra turn no matter what, even if you are frozen. So pretty cool. Blackwood Staff. Nice bit of scatter damage boosted by entangle gems, then creates 8 entangle gems. Does have tangling as one of its upgrades, which means you'll automatically entangle the top troop when you cast it, which is pretty cool. Some people may think that's a bit useless when that second part of the spell, when it creates entangle gems, which can entangle the enemy. and the top one's already entangled. But the thing is with entangling the top troops sometimes is they're the ones first in line for skull damage, and you may want to take them out because they're often the most dangerous opponent. And if you do that as part of the spell, and then like with this one you may get an extra turn potentially, then basically you could actually kill that top troop who was entangled. Now the ones underneath them aren't entangled. With these entangled gems you actually stand a chance of getting the whole enemy team entangled quite quick. So yeah, pretty decent weapon, the Blackwood Staff, particularly against skull based teams. Arcane Edge. Damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by Mystic allies. Does have Terrifying. Inflict terror to the first enemy as one of its upgrades. Yes. Is that it? Is that it? Yes. That is actually it. Well, not much there today, so if you haven't actually got one of the stars yet and you constantly put it off because there's other essential weapons that you need to craft and it's taking your resources, then get one of the stars today. Absolutely amazing. Right, onto the troops. Let's take a quick look now at these summoning stones, especially if you're a newer player. Go over all of these, have a little look-see. What you're looking for is anybody that's empowered. That means they start battles with full mana. Goblins are always worth picking up. All goblins have an extra turn built into their team. You can get really good goblin teams at really low level player or new level player, which is really, really good. So always try and pick up these goblins if you can. Let's see what else we got. No one particularly amazing from there. So that goblin we just looked at a second ago wasn't particularly anything great, but always worth getting. Like goblin pickpocket, again, nothing amazing, but choose an enemy, destroy 4 gems of one of their mana colours, boosted by my gold, then gain 10 gold and an extra turn. Can be good, but not the best. There's far better goblins than that. Oh, this is one here, look. Nobbend Brothers. This is one of the only troops in the game where I don't mind the or thing of the way it works. Normally I'm not a fan of it because it's not going to do what you want, or the or options are sort of something a bit rubbish. But this one is mostly okay. Gains an extra turn and either eliminate magic +2 attack from all enemies, or deal magic +2 damage to all enemies, or explode magic +2 gems. So I don't really mind what happens to those things if I've got this in my team. If it does that attack reduction from all enemies, they can end up on 0 attack really, really quickly. If it does damage, damage is good. You need to do damage to kill people, and if it explodes all them gems, it's likely to charge up itself again, or one of my other teams. And this is typically not one of my other teams, one of my other troops. And typically this will be in a team with other goblins. And they have an extra turn, so you can do it again. The only thing when this does go wrong, or isn't as good as you want it to be, is when everyone's attack is already on 0 and it still decides to do that eliminate attack option when it's already like can't be reduced anymore. But other than that, an absolutely great troop, like it a lot. So yeah, pick up, certainly open a few of your summoning stones, see if you can get Nobbend Brothers if you've not got them already. Right, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Eclipsos is the dragon on rotation this week. It is a cosmic dragon, so this is the one you need if you're on the road to crafting Stellarix. Say it every time, if this is the last one you need, to craft or to get the set so you can continue on the way to crafting Stellarix, then I'd say it's worth the extra Dragonite to secure it, because it's guaranteed you're not going to be frustrated by more and more duplicates. Even though sometimes 2 duplicates is useful in certain teams, but it is quite rare. But you might get lucky and crack open a normal egg and get it as well, but the odds are against you, like 5 to 1 against you. Like, it's like rolling the dice and trying to get a 6. Can be instant, can take absolutely ages. But yeah, I know that I would rather just guarantee it myself, but each to their own. Right, first of the normal mythics, Succubus Queen. Charms an enemy, very powerful against powerful opponents who've got very strong attack, because a charmed troop deals its attack as damage to the troops above and below, and steals double magic +1 by the look of it, life from them, so that's effectively true damage as well as giving herself an extra life boost, and a summon as well. So yeah, not too bad in the right team, but it does take a little bit of specialist team creation to make her effective. What am I doing? Wrong thing. Kronos. Does damage based on your magic to all enemies, so all enemy damage, which is good. Then convert all blue gems to hourglass gems, so blue to yellow with the effect of getting an extra turn no matter what, even if you're frozen. Much better than what it sounds, because just gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell is good as well. But look at that essence of time. Enchant all allies when I get an extra turn. Not enchant all allies when I get a 4 match, an extra turn, which is even better because you get an extra, you get that enchant when you get a 4 match, or just when you get an extra turn, and you get that from the hourglass gems. This combines really well with the Daughter of Time and a troop that explodes gems. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Really good. That was weird. Aquaria. Let me just have a little drink of my latte coffee. Lovely. Right, Aquaria. Deal splash damage to 3 random enemies boosted by submerge allies, and does give 4 life to all blue allies when matching blue gems, and create a blue gem when my turn begins. So yeah, not bad. All round okay set of traits and spell. Does work really well with Aquarius. Is it Aquarius? Aquaticus. Not Aquarius. That's a flipping star sign. Aquaticus. Because Aquaticus, you get a 4 match, he submerges all allies. And this is splash damage to 3 random enemies boosted by submerged allies. So it works well with Aquaticus, not some star sign. Weird. Anyway, who's next? Ulor. Forever, for me, underrated. But it is specialist. It's not like does a billion damage to everything troop. So a lot of people think therefore he's rubbish. It's specialist, but it is really good in the right team and can be very powerful against some of those book teams and things like that. Eliminate magic +1 attack from the first 2 enemies. +1 magic from the last 2 enemies, and drain all mana from the 2 strongest enemies. Does all those things. So if those enemies, for example, are in last place, they've got the books, that have got the high magic, you can dwindle their magic down to nothing really quickly. And because it eliminates the attack from the first enemies, it makes their skull hits significantly weaker and drains mana from the 2 strongest. And the strongest is the troop with the highest combined life and armor. So it's like really good. I do like it. And the Ancient Chill is great as well. Freeze and Fairy Fire a random enemy when matching blue gems. Really good sort of counter to certain things in the game, but it does require a little bit of strategy. And the super strong thing about it is when you've killed a couple of enemies, then by default, because there's 2 enemies left, they automatically become the first 2, last 2, and the strongest 2. So all those things happen at once. It's really strong in the right team is Ulor. Alright, let's just take a quick look at the legendaries, and then we'll move on to the world event team. We have Queen Titania. Damage to all enemies boosted by red enemies and allies, and if there are 13 or more red gems, gain an extra turn. Works really well in a red storm to make the most of that possibility of there being 13 or more red gems, so pretty good. And Fairy Fire a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches, which again, if you've got a red storm going on, you've got a bigger chance of getting those 4 or 5 matches, and she's pretty decent still. Very good indeed. And who's next? We have King Heliodor. Again, decent troop. Very good. True damage to the first enemy, boosted by brown gems and allies. Then knock them to the back. Then create 3 elemental stars. Can loop if you have 2 or 3 of these in the same team. You get a brown gem when your turn begins as well. So with more of these, that becomes more brown gems. And give 5 life to all elemental allies when matching brown gems. So yeah, those things work really well with himself, especially when there's, like I say, 2 or 3, because you can get a nice little loop going. Despond, another good troop. Some good legendaries here today. Deal damage to an enemy equal to their attack. So again, really strong against those super powerful opponents that have decided they needed to boost their attack sky high. Despond actually works really well against those kind of troops. Then deal the same damage to all enemies above them, which means you have to cast this on the troop lowest down or right at the bottom if you can, and has a summon at the same time, and does drain 3 mana from a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems, as well as being impervious. Despond, very nice indeed. And the Silken Queen, eliminate 4 magic or drain 4 mana or steal magic +1 life from an enemy boosted by web gems, and creates 1 web gem when a turn begins to help that. So yeah, some really good legendaries here today, and some good mythics too. But who gets my mythic of the week? Really do like me a bit of Ulor, but it is very strategic based. It's not like a damage troop, but I just love the way that Kronos works, especially with when it's combined with things like the Daughter of Time and things like that. Absolutely amazing. Love that Essence of Time. Really like the way the spell works. Kronos, my mythic of the week. Right, now onto the world event team and the scoring. What's really important in this event is that you collect the medal. It starts off as a token of summoning, then evolves to the badge of summoning when you collect more of them, then ultimately evolves to the medal of summoning with a whopping 160% spell damage for all troops in the event. Absolutely fantastic, and these do stack. So it's really important to make sure that you grab your rewards first, because your guild, you should be in one, is doing this at the same time, and you collect these as you go along. So make sure you grab those rewards to make sure you pick up as many of those tokens as you can to get the medal, to get all that lovely damage boost. Right, so make sure you've done that. Thank you very much. And we evolve it again. We've got another badge, so we'll go into the medals and make sure we get them stacked, because where's the highlight thing gone? There it is. Right, so even niches are just nothing compared to this. This is so important. So we'll have one of them. If you got another one, do another one. If you got a badge, stick it in the middle. It's like the damage boost on this is absolutely insane. So even a moderately powered troop that does effectively damage to all or hits all enemies is going to be absolutely mega powerful for this, and sufficient. And no mythic is required. Right, but let's go over the scoring just ever so quickly first before we show the team. There are 6 battles you can encounter during this event: Ancient Horror, Isban, Eldritch Minion, Moloch, Nyarmel, and Vash Dagon. The event has 3 phases. Phase 1, the first 3 battles are the only available battles to play and have an equal chance of appearing. You will need to win 15 battles here to progress to the next phase. Phase 2, the first 5 battles are the only available battles to play and have an equal chance of appearing. You will need to win a further 15 battles here to progress to the final stage, or phase 3, where all 6 battles are now available. I've simplified the scoring on the screen there, showing how many pages you get. So always fight the one that gives you the most points possible. Each page is basically worth 2 points, and as the battles get harder, they will also increase the amount of pages they give by 25%. So again, always worth fighting the hardest battles. So let's dive in and show the team. So like I was saying a minute ago, with that damage boost, we don't actually need to use mythics for this, but we are restricted to midnight troops. So Fire Juggler will do a really good job on this, but let's make no bones about it. If you've got like Arc Druid Blackwood, if you've got Void, is it the Void Dragon? Void Dragon, yeah. Again, damage to all, or even a Mortal Ossifer, then that is 3 really good troops you can put into this to actually boost up damage and do more. So if you've got those mythics, then yeah, Arc Druid Blackwood, Void Dragon, stick them in place of one of the Fire Jugglers. But if you've got the medals straight away, like I have, Fire Juggler is going to do plenty of damage. It's going to be absolutely huge and works really well, and keeps it a no mythic. So what we'll have is Hands of Time in first place, dealing heavy splash damage to an enemy, and then light splash damage to a random enemy. So you can target that first damage on the second or third troop down. That way you get the most of the splash damage. And then with that extra damage from the second part of the spell, you may even finish people off like that. And really important to get this weapon leveled up, because if you get the last upgrade, you get an extra turn. Quick, gain an extra turn. Absolutely fantastic. And it does drain 2 mana from random enemies as well. And Fire Juggler, damage to 4 random enemies. Remember, with that damage boost, you're going to be killing them with a single hit time after time for a long time. So we don't even care about that mechanic of boosted by Terra Gems. If it wasn't for the medal boost, that would be important, but we get such a big boost on this, that boost by Terra Gems doesn't really matter. So we can just rely on her with a damage. And her interesting outfit, she must have that special sticky stuff that some women wear to avoid wardrobe malfunctions, that tape that does an unfortunately good job sometimes. Anyway, not talking about that. But it's important this uses opposite colours or different colours to the weapon. That means, like, if you can get yellow or blue, you'll charge up this, and if you get red or purple, you charge up this. So yeah, either or is good. And Haunted Doll, we can use that as a mana generator. Because remember at the beginning on this, you're going to get, hang on, for some reason my telly's just decided it wants to show me that HDMI 3 is available. Bit weird, so I had to turn that off because it was covering bottom of the screen, bizarre. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes, mana generator, because at the start of the battle, you'll obviously get the potion of explosion and the enchantment, things like that. So the first cast should happen pretty quickly. But if you need to cast again, this is where this sort of thing comes into play. Exploding magic +1 and purple gems, that's for our fire jugglers. Then heal to full and inflict terror on all enemies. But this team actually works really, really good. So the banner for this will have a +2 red, +1 purple, -1 brown Hellclaw banner, because brown is the only colour we don't use. And we will be in, if I can even say stuff properly today, Night Weaver class. That is the midnight thing. All mystics gain 2 life, gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, and give 2 magic to all mystic allies when matching purple, which we'll be doing a lot for our fire juggler anti-wardrobe malfunction woman. And we can have stuff like Hunt, we can have Dark Hunger, we can have Plague Bearer, really good, disease a random enemy on 4 to 5 gem matches, halving the rate they collect mana. Dusk Aura, create a Dark Storm at the start of battle, that's purple, really cool. Stealthy, cannot be targeted by spells. Dodge, Dodging McDodger, 30% chance to dodge skull damage. And Rising Shadows, 7% chance to assassinate the last enemy when another enemy dies. So let's pop in, have a little punch up, jiggle our juggly woman around without malfunctioning out of it, and see what happens. Right, so there we go, we've got our explosion, we've got a choice out of various stuff. Won't take long to get the team up at all. There we go. She's getting ready to juggle her stuff around like a good one. Bing, bang, bong, bong. Job is good. 4 pages. Right, let's hopefully we'll get some. There wasn't a flipping ancient horror now. I've got yay, we got a super powerful eldritch minion. Yay, but it's better. It gives more pages than a stupid ancient horror. Right, in these early stages, you can actually take out one of the medals and stick on a medal of Anu. That'll give you a quicker start. But as you see, it's not exactly taking long anyway. We've got to juggle her stuff and go around bashing people. She hits them 4 times. Okay, she chucks fire. Fair enough. Those fire sticks. That's like whoople, one for you. Quapple, one for you. Take that, mate. And you too. That's what she does. Probably. Anyway. Right, last battle, then we'll jump forward to things getting a bit harder, I was going to say, but I've got a funny feeling it's going to be this way for quite a long time. There we go, got the weapon up instead, so we can target the 2nd or 3rd enemy, and then, because we wipe them out, that extra damage, or the extra hit, will go on the remaining enemy and finish them off. Right, let's jump forward a little bit. Jumping forward a little bit, but absolutely plain sailing still. This obviously will vary on your magic level, how much damage your fire jugglers do, but with the 2nd one there as well, don't bother with the skull damage, there's no point. We've got like the fire juggler up next time anyway, but you can take it just to avoid taking the damage yourself if you so desired. And you do get the occasional summon with this as well, so it's definitely worth taking out a troop like that if you can. So when the fire juggler hits, the 4th hit actually goes on the summon. So they summon straight in and they die immediately. Very nice indeed. The explosion thing, do its stuff at the beginning. There you go. She juggled her stuff straight away. See, there's that summon. See, that's what can happen. But all we got to do is just get our first troop finished up and fire jugglers ready as well. Pick your poison, juggle them to death, or twat them around the head with your hands at a time, and they're going to die anyway. Eldritch Minion, strongest one. Always pick the highest level battle. Get those pages, make those second-hand books, or whatever you're meant to do. Right, let's get some purple. Oh, that was alright. Potion enchantment means we're ready to go next round. Anyway, bish, bash, bosh, dosh. Job's a good one. But like I say, if you've got a lower power or whatever, or you've got the Void Dragon, or excuse me, the what his name, Arc Druid Blackwood, whatever his name was. That's a strong choice too. It's going to really pump up the damage with them medals. But my juggle lady, she is doing the absolute business. Shouldn't need any help. Not even going to bother looking for four matches. There you go. She must be a good shot with those fire juggle things. She never misses. But she's a circus act. That's why she's at the circus. Maybe they're too busy being bamboozled looking at her sticky tape, keeping her what's it in place to not actually think about getting out of the way. I do think I think I do take things a little bit too literally sometimes. But only in jest. Right, let's get that weapon up. You got any blue? Got any yellow? Alright, we'll have a red then. Second fire juggler's up next round anyway, so I'll just take anything I want. There you go. Second juggle woman's getting involved. Right, let's just do a couple more. No need to drag it out. It's obvious how this team works. Super duper crazy straightforward. Oh, there's a nice little bonus bash around the head there. Let's get some stuff for the weapon. Let's get the weapon involved. Second or third enemy. Make the most of that splash damage. And the extra hit finishes off. Super lovely, fantastic. And let's do a level 90 Eldritch Minion. And we'll call the video, or that section of the video, a day. We've still got the Underspire team to do. Come on, let's finish off on a... Yes. A nice little wave of glory there. No turns needed. Just charge the team up straight away. Just start the game. Cast Fire Juggler. Job is done. Now on to the Underspire team. Now the restriction is exactly the same as a world event for this. So we're basically going to effectively end up with pretty much exactly the same team, but it is important to actually go about this slightly differently, because without the potion of enchantment or the potion of explosion, and without that damage boost, obviously the speed of a team like this slows down significantly. So the first thing we have to do is remember to go and change our medals if you've been doing a world event, and swap them back to something like this. But to make things a bit more quicker at the beginning, you can swap out one of those niches for a medal of Anu for a 20% starting mana for all our troops. And back into the game. So this is where like something like a stronger like Mythic would really be beneficial. So if you've got like an Arc Druid Blackwood, for example, doing that true damage to all enemies, you can stick that in there. And the entangle mechanic that this troop has as well is good against the skulls. The Void Dragon, obviously very good for this as well. But because we're lacking the damage boost from this because of the lack of the medal now from that world event, obviously our Fire Juggler does significantly less damage. This is where it may be important, depending upon your level, to make sure you get the Haunted Doll charged up first. Explodes purple gems, then heal to full and inflict terror on all enemies. Cool, maybe, think, possibly. Let's give it a go. There's only one way to find out. Fight! Some British people may know what that was from. See what we're looking for. It seems so slow all of a sudden after you stop getting the start you get from the world event team. The explosion and the enchant. Right, let's get our free thingy from Mr. T Wannabe. Hey, crazy fool, you want my lantern? I ain't getting on no plane. Okay. Let's just fight the Viper's Nest. We'll have a bit of that. And well, purple's nearly ready, so we'll grab a bit more purple. It's still going to be fairly quick in the early stages. And we'll call the video a day. So there it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.